Welcome back. We finished with rural development, and today what we are going to do is employment. And we are going again. Let me tell you Unit 7 as we had envisaged and learnt it up as RIPHEE. R for rural development, which we finished. I for infrastructure. P is for poverty. Poverty we finished. Then we talking about H is human capital formation, which we finished. E, employment, which we are going to do today. And E again is environment and sustainable development. So today we are going to do employment. So what is employment? So we are going to talk, it's very important to have employment growth, talking about employment growth. Then we talk about informal, what is the unemployment problem, etc. What is work? What are workers? All that. So I just want you to see this. Yeah, you can see this. So work, what is work? People do work to earn their living. Some for work in factories, some work at home, some in the banks, some in construction. So what is work? It enables, why is it important that we work? Because it enables a person to support his family and fulfill his social obligations. Then it helps in understanding and planning countries' human resources. So that it does that also. Then talking about employment or the work what the people work as, it helps us to analyze the contribution made by different sectors of what are the different sectors, primary, secondary, tertiary, in national income. So unemployment addresses problems such as poverty, exploitation of labor, etc. And now let's talk about who are the workers. Who is a worker? Any person who is engaged in production activity or economic activity are called workers. So remember what are economic activities? That means economic activities we perform in exchange for something, for some value, that is known as economic activity. So, and these production activities contribute to production of goods and services. So we have people who are hired, as you can see that they are hired workers. Hired workers can be casual, that means day-to-day laborers, and they can also be regular wage earners. And then we have, at the other extreme, we have self-employed workers. So we have self-employed workers, as you see, and we have what is known as hired workers. So what is self-employed workers? People who use their own resource to make a living are known as self-employed. If you know how to dance well and you think of teaching or opening a school to teach dancing, then you're a self-employed person. So here you use your own resource. So that is self-employed. Another thing is, suppose you're a doctor and you're running your own clinic, even then it becomes he's a self-employed worker. A farmer who's cultivating his own farm, again, he's a self-employed worker. He's not working for someone else. Now, what are hired workers? These are people who work in other enterprises and in return receive wages or salaries as a reward. So they are hired workers. Suppose if a doctor seeks employment in a hospital, so that means the hospital has hired his services. So that is it. So in return he will get wages. So he's a regular wage earner. So hired workers can be categorized now into two parts. One is regular wage earners These are people who work for others on a regular basis. They are on a permanent basis. And they have to just follow the service book rules, and they are there they are there till their retirement. For example, a teacher teaching in a school. Casual wage workers, they are employed in other enterprises on daily or periodic contract. So it's not just daily workers, but even a contractual labor is known as casual labor. So they don't have regular income, and they're not very sure about the contract. Workers are not sure if they're going to be absorbed next year or the coming year, whatever, or the coming period. So you understand classification of workers: self-employed, hired workers. In hired workers, we have what is known as casual workers and regular wage workers. Now let's take an example that can be said. Suppose DLF India is a well-known construction company in India. The company has to employ construction workers and civil engineers. So who are the casual workers here? Yeah, the construction workers or the laborers. And the workers, such as those engineers, are regular salaried employees. And the company has to buy cement from the dealers, and the cement owner is a self-employed worker. So this is a basic difference. As you see, that we have what is known as the hired workers, casual and regular wage workers.